Right, so I'm here with one of the founders of Stingray Records, Mr. Dillie. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
Nice to meet you guys today.
Oh, thank you. It's a privilege to have you on my show. So tell me, first of all, how did it all begin? How did this all come together, Stingray Records?
Stingray, well, it was just the old vibes of just putting a studio together. Musically, it's from birth, you know. Growing up in school, I was a musician. Yeah, I was a live drummer.
Wow.
But yeah, as time moved on, I moved away from that, and really and truly, I find my comfort in production and studio engineer. So yeah, so you know, that's where it all ended up. I mean, I went through the whole career of music, from playing sound. Even messing about singing and all that too.
Really?
Yeah.
No!
Under the quiet. Well, I haven't told anyone that.
God. So tell me, okay, so basically, who are some of the artists that have actually recorded here? Because I'm looking on the wall and there's thousands of artists that have passed through. Who have been some of the big names that have come to Stingray Records?
Well, we've recorded a few in all different ways, whether it's dub plates or literally music production. You know, we had Luciano, we had Bushman, Marcia Griffiths, Freddie McGregor. Well, the list is ending. The list is ending, yeah, yeah.
So what makes your style of producing different from any other producer?
Well, it's the people that says it's different. You know, every producer, every engineer, every musician have their own particular vibes of how they want to hear things or how they want to do their thing. You know, I feel confident in how I do my thing, and I make no judgment of it. So if someone says it's different, it's because they're feeling something different about what I'm doing. But to me, I'm just creating a reggae vibes of music, you know, to the world, really. Yeah.
So tell me, why is it only reggae that you do?
Not really, but 98% is. You know, I mean, sometime on projects we may decide to have something a bit different. It could be a ska tune, it could be soca vibe, or even a nice little soul kind of beat. But naturally, you know, it's really reggae that.
So who has been one of your favourite artists to work with then? Whether female?
Okay. Well, for me it was Dennis Brown, really, because growing up as a youth, Dennis Brown was like one of my idols. And to find out that the very first day of getting into production, I'm going to be working with someone like Dennis Brown and making a project, it was like, I was overwhelmed, you know what I mean? It's like I was shaking, like I can't believe that this is Dennis Brown I'm actually working with, you know, growing up over the years, playing these tracks and admiring his voice so much, you know? So he was one of the many.
Okay, so tell me, Dillie, as an artist, a big artist as that, what makes, as a producer, what makes a good artist?
For me, good songs, good vocal arrangements. You know, that's what makes a good artist for me. You know, good songs and good vocal arrangement.
But then, these days, do you have to be a good singer or a good artist? Do you have to be a good singer to make music?
No, not really. The way of the world right now, there's so much different gadget that can fix up singer's voice, and it's the public that takes it to the limit from there, you know. So it depends how you put it together, because there's a lot of singers out there that's not that great.
It's true.
But they may do a tune that is reached out to the world, that people saying, wow, that tune's powerful. You know, so
how do you feel the music industry's changed over the years?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm going back from when I started, which is talking about over 35 years, and yeah, there's been so much different changes throughout the years. You know, I remember when it was just vinyl production, and then CD came in, you know, was another format, and then it changed now from vinyl, CD, and it's gone into this internet world now, which is MP3. So, you know, it's changed a lot. I mean, I'm trying to get used to it as I go along, because I'm still there, so I have to get used to it.
So you work with very well established artists, but do you take on artists that are just starting out? Is there anyone undercover that you work with to like produce and make them successful, or is it just?
Well, yeah, we have some new talents that we try work with, but you know, because I'm so busy doing other stuff as well, like different projects and things like that, it's really down to time, you know. But you know, we have a few little artists that we try to get recognized out there on the label, you know. Right. Tenor Star is one, Clear Angel is one. We have a girl from Gloucester, her name is Raphelia. Oh. You know, so we try to feature these artists on a lot of our rhythms that are coming out, so they can get familiar with these voice, you know. So to me, they are new talent, and hopefully, you know, if not now or next year or so, you'll hear a lot from them.
Okay, so if some artists out there want to get involved with Stingray Records, how would they go about that? Do they have to sing you a demo? Is it like
can sing me a demo, or again, you know, just do the right thing. Just let me know. Get in touch. Do the right thing, and let's see, you know, what they're made of. Or, you know, for me, it's just good writers and good vocal, you know. So that's all they got to think about when they're coming to me. You know?
Tell me, how did Stingray's name come about? How is it so big? I mean, it's known everywhere. Like, how did you promote it and get it out there? That's what many people with a label want, and you've actually got that. So
it's years of experience. Like, you know, as I said, it's been over 35 years. Wow. You know, so I mean, it's not something that just rised up in the last 2-3 years, and basically, you know, we work from a strength to a strength. You know, because I got the knowledge from working with a record company back in the 80s, which was Blue Mountain Records. And they were working solely with a lot of the Jamaican producers like Steele and Clevey, Bobby Digital, Sly and Robbie. So there was a few like big labels they were working with. So I mean, working with that company now, it gave me the chance to get familiar with a lot of the producers and studios in Jamaica. And on my travels now, you know, all these ideas came to me of how they done their stuff, and I brought it back to England here. Of course, me and my brother, which is a part of the old setup, which is Ray. And I've just created my own version of what the idea I picked up of what was going on. And Blue Mountain went down in 1999, and I decided to continue. So I was still in touch with a lot of those producers. I was still getting the materials. I started to do stuff with Jetstar Records and get the materials out. So the knowledge built up from there as well, because, you know, I started to get into the depth of how the marketing goes and the licensing goes, working with such artists, being around them, getting familiar with them, becoming friends, and more than artists, they're like friends and things like that. Musicians just the same. So I just adapt the same vibes. Built my own material, got some friends, artist friends, and worked with them.
Loads of friends, loads of well-known friends. So
yeah, they're all on the wall in there. You know, Richie is one.
Yeah, actually talking about Richie, with regards to Richie, My God Is Real. How did that come about?
Well, My God Is Real, that was Richie came here one day with some tracks to transfer, if I remember right, and that rhythm was on a tape, and when I heard it, I thought, you know something, Richie, I'm going to use that rhythm. I'm going to do something with it anyway. So I took the rhythm away from him, captured it, and made a few changes, you know, to what was there. Tweak it up and change a bass line and switch in this and put on guitar, and the tune developed into the rhythm, you know, which was My God Is Real. And again, what helped was putting some of the Jamaican artists on it, as well as I had some UK artists on it. And, you know, with names like Bushman and Tony Curtis, their names was ringing hard at the time. So I believe they helped as much the rhythm moved along and bring it worldwide. So
right. So tell me, with regards to content, like I asked Richie as well, is there some artists that you just feel are focusing too much on slackness? Like, are you into those type of artists, people like Vibes Cartel and that really
Me personally, no, I'm not really so much. I mean, you can do slack tunes, you know. I don't have a thing about it, but it's how you do it and how you put the lyrics over. Because there is DJs out there that will put it over in a kind of way that you wouldn't even know it's slackness.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's how you do your thing, but just blatantly, just raw. You know, for me personally, I don't really agree with it. So they won't be coming to the studio and voicing a tune for me like that, because it just wouldn't work. You know, it doesn't give me no kind of vibes at all. So, you know, I don't know where it's going, and I hope that it will change. There's periods where it has happened, because it has happened previously before, during the years of me being in the business. And, you know, again, you know, there've been fight out, and then culture came in, took over, but all of a sudden now it's gone mad again. So we need someone to bring it back to where it was, so people could wise up to what's going on, because a lot of the kids that's growing right now is listening to these stuff and they're taking it all the wrong way.
It's true.
You know?
They are.
So,
but away from the artists that you actually work with, who are you feeling? Who are you listening to right now?
Well, to be honest with you, you know, it's hard to say what kind of artists I listen to, but if you go in my car right now, to be honest with you, I listen to a lot of gospel. Yeah, and these gospel artists is artists I very rarely know. You know, but I find that I get a lot of inspiration from listening to these gospel singers, you know, and especially even these reggae artists as well, when they kind of adapt that kind of gospel vibes. I don't mean like deep gospel that's just talking generally about God, Jesus, God. You know, if you listen to some of like what Richie's doing now, it's more words, you know, powerful words. And I think that's got so much meaning for people to wise up to what's going on. Gospel don't necessarily mean that every song you do is going to be God, God, I love you, God is this, Jesus is this. It's, you know, you've got to adapt to a lot more than what's going on in the world, which is powerful words with a lot more meaning, you know.
Yeah.
So
what's next for Stingray Records? What have we got to look forward to?
Well, yeah, there's so much to look forward to, because, you know, we don't stop, you know, we just keep going. Yeah, you know, I've got a new rhythm, couple new rhythms actually coming now, which one would be Pick Up the Pieces. We've got the Rainbow Country rhythm, which we revisited. We had that out from in the early 2000s, and we made some new version of it. Freddie McGregor's featured on it. Also, I got to remind you that he's got an album, Freddie McGregor, which, you know, we've got about a good 7-8 tracks on that album. It's called Freddie McGregor The Captain, and that should be released at the end of this month via VP and Greensleeve. So that's something to look out for. We've got Richard Davis' album now, we're just finished completing. So hopefully, fingers crossed, between next month or April, that should be available. We have a Sandra Cross album which will be available, called Just As I Am. Prince Malachi, an album called Gift of Life, which should be available. Mikey Spice, this is our second album with him. The first one is called My Way. We haven't titled this one as yet. I'm mixing the tracks as we speak. There's 2 tracks left, so we want to squeeze all those in for this year. There's so much other projects.
How long does a track take to make, you know, like?
Well, a track can take a day, really. You know, it can take a couple hours. It depends how fast you want to do it, but I don't really like working like that. Sometimes you build a track, you sit down, you listen, you think of ideas of what you can add to that track, and you come back, you put the ideas down, go away, come back, listen again. If I'm not bored of the rhythm, then I know that it's a good one. If I'm bored of the rhythm, then I put it one side and try something else and go for another rhythm, you know.
Well, I'm going to cut you. I'm going to say, Dillie, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and actually being in the big house, Stingray Records, it's a pleasure to actually be here. That's Dillie. I'm Kadisha. You're watching the Kadisha Kadisha Show. Keep it locked.